Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of CUBED, the Marvel Snap podcast. My name is MarcLee. I will be your host tonight, as always. I was like, he said, I'll be on it. I'll be on it.
I was like, is that gonna? Are you cueing me right now? I was like, wait, is it for me or for you?
And so tonight, as always, we have to everybody's left. We have Bok Choy, aka Dakota.
Woo woo.
And to the left, we have Mr. DarkHelmit, Don
What's the other
himself. Don the Don. And today, we actually don't have a long episode. I say that now, but, probably might go an hour, depending on how long we
Only
talk.
4 hours today, guys.
Only 4
hours straight.
That's how we roll, baby.
We don't have much to talk about because there hasn't been much, added into the game. But we're just to, give you a snapshot. We're going to go over the new card speed. We're going to go over the OTA that we had. Not much changes there. But then at the end of this, we're going to do a little something special and talk about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But, we've given you, about a month. So if you haven't seen it, or if you don't want to be in the talks regarding this, just make sure after we talk about the OTA, just cut it.
Get the fuck out of here.
Also, if you don't want to hear about it, well, too damn bad.
Just watch it till the end. We need the views. We're hurting for views.
Come on, help us out.
But so let's get started. The newest card that we have is Speed. So let me go ahead and show everybody.
Everybody.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I know why it's like this. It's like this because we were looking at a deck by Fantasy.
Oh, we got to do some changes. There we go.
There you go.
Boom, baby.
Boom shakalaka.
All right. So Speed is a 3-cost, 3-power card. And the ongoing effect is +1 power for each turn in which you spent all your energy. All right. So for the first person, we're going to go to Don. How do you feel about this card, Don?
I think it's a fun card. It fits well into the kind of just a tech card you could use in most decks. I mean, I see it fitting right into a Surfer deck, obviously. But, even a deck like a Zoo deck would work for this card, You're using your power constantly, which means it's going to keep increasing. It doesn't matter if it was in your hand or in your deck. Once you pull it, however many turns you've had it, you're just going to get that power. It's kind of nice to have. At best, it's going to be a 3/9, which is pretty crazy if you think about it. But even a 3/5, 3/6, which doesn't seem too difficult to do, that's pretty good value.
Okay. How about yourself, Dakota?
Yeah, dude, this card's wild. Hang on, I'm sorry, I spilled my beer.
Hold my beer.
I set it down and it just went kabloom, like a freaking tsunami up in this bitch. 1 second. Talk about it first. Hang on,
right,
you do your thing.
yeah, you're good. So for me, I feel like this card is it goes well with his brother, which is Wiccan. It's cool that they have that synergy between them. But other than that, I think it does work well in Surfer. There's not a lot of decks that, kind of prioritize using all their energy. Definitely not good in a high Evo deck. But I feel like what Don mentioned, getting it to a 3/5, 3/6 at minimum. I mean, 3 turns that you have to do to get, that minimum to spend all your energy. And sometimes, you do play on curve. So it's not too hard. But I don't know if this kind of takes a place of anything. I don't know if this trumps any other card is what I'm saying, because there are a lot of good 3-cost cards, especially with specific decks there's already a synergy between these decks. I'm not sure, besides a Wiccan deck, where you prioritize, like, I got to use all my energy, you know? So,
I'm not sure it's one of those I have to use all my energy kind of cards. I think it's
Yeah.
well, you know what? This is a nice little bonus, right? Being able to get a 3/6 out um, is just nice. I mean, you could even fit this into an ongoing deck, right? You know, you're gonna try to play on curve a little bit anyways. So it's a nice. It's not like a hey, I'm gonna build my whole deck around this card,
Yeah.
but it is one of those nice things where I can at least get a little bit better, like a 3/6
Yeah.
solid card.
Yeah, at minimum, like you said, 3/6. You did mention the ongoing deck, so that would be a good one because you do run. Your ones is like Ant-Man. Your two could be like Mojo or Goose. Your three, Jean Grey. There is a natural flow to playing on curve. So I guess cards that do, decks that do play on curve naturally are pretty good with it. It's just, like this over something else is kind of hard to kind of think about. So I don't know. I haven't tested it in anything else other than Wiccan decks, and he does seem to work really well with a Wiccan deck when you can get Wiccan off. So
What?
I
Excuse
mean,
me.
I am Wiccan's demographic, so. So, how about
We
yourself,
got
Dakota?
Dakota over here just sucking the beer out of the carpet, you know.
Straight up. I'm good. I'm back.
So, how do you feel about this card?
This being ongoing is really fun because I think I put my headphones on right back when I think Don was mentioning it doesn't always have to pop off every turn. Just having him go off twice throughout the game or maybe 3 times, you have a good stat. It's not terrible. And so the deck that I was running with him first was the Spectrum build that I saw from Cozy. I'm like, okay, let's see how this goes. And it was fun because, this thrown in with Luke Cage, you got your Man Thing, you got Agent,
Yep.
U.S. Agent. There's some fun, just like builds that goes along with it. After you showed me that Wiccan deck that has him in there, man, I was having a blast. Like just playing this style has been really fun, and I think that we haven't really unlocked all of its potential yet. And I'm excited to just continually cook with this card. So I'm enjoying it so far. I got no negatives on it. Really, it's fun.
How do you guys feel about its competitiveness? Because it's definitely a fun card, especially like I mentioned with Wiccan. And Wiccan is a fun card. I don't see it being too overly competitive. You'd have to really be cooking to proc Wiccan and be lucky enough to draw him. So, and on top of that, like, be able to use that extra energy, right? Because there's a lot of times where I find myself procking Wiccan and then I get no big cards, right? Like I didn't draw into a Loki to get the opponent's deck. I didn't draw into my what's his name? Who's the guy from Shield? Coulson.
Coulson, yeah.
I didn't draw my Coulson, to get those bigger cards. So it's really, like I said, a lot of fun, but I don't think it will be as competitive. How about you guys? Let's start with you, Don.
Nah, I mean, I don't think this is going to be a meta breaking card by any means. I do think every now and then you're going to catch some people off guard. If you can play it a little late, I think you can definitely use it well, but it's not going to change the meta.
Okay. Dakota?
Yeah, I'm right there with Don. The one thing I will say though about speed is with Iron Man, again, if you're going more the like ongoing play, this
Yeah.
one actually can go off pretty good. Wiccan together, I mean, if you're throwing Loki in like the one build that you had, this one has some good potential, but at the end of the day, it's it's kind of 50-50, like most of these cards. You're either going to be like, oh, yeah, this is the one you really need, and then you kind of got to build around it, or it just gets left in the dust. So,
Okay. So do you guys see yourself using this card pretty often?
I think I see using it sparingly,
Yeah.
here and there. But like, I can't say there are too many cards that I use insanely often, right? We all kind of get on our kicks. We play with a certain deck for a little bit, and then we kind of like, man, I want to try something different. So, or sorry, at least that's how I play this game. I get stuck and I'm just like, I'm bored with this. Maybe I'll go play negative for a little bit, or maybe I'll go play, just some meme deck and try to just get all the smiles and yeah.
Yeah, and with the introduction of alliances, it's kept me changing decks quite often. So shout out to our alliance mates, especially in chat, Ghosty Shadow and Joe D. So shout out to them.
You're
Yeah,
just crushing it out there.
we love you, boys.
Yeah, I feel like with the ever changing alliance bounties, it kind of causes us to play different decks more often. Now, the final question is it worth the 6,000 tokens or the 1 to 4 keys? I don't know, because if you get lucky, of course, 1 key, it's worth it, right? Now, is it worth 2 to 4 keys or 6,000 tokens? What's your take, Dakota?
I think that it's worth 2 keys. 6,000 tokens is. I don't think, honestly, there's been a card in a while besides like Airsham that's worth 6,000. To be honest with you, just it's kind of getting ridiculous. So this one, I don't think it's a 6,000. If you had to do 2, I think it's worth it. There is some synergy in ongoing decks.
Okay, Dawn.
It all depends on how much you like the variants, right? If you love the variants, then 100% worth for. If you don't, then no. Unfortunately, my streak of luck came to an end this week, and I don't know. I don't know how these guys do it every week. Just 4 keys. Oh, ugh, ugh. I can normally pull it in 1 or 2, but man, these guys over here,
Yeah.
like you guys, the suffering you do.
I
Been a
think
lot of sleepless nights.
I think whenever you say that, my soul leaves my body a little bit. So
I still think between all 3 of us, Mark, you've had to pull more 4 keys than any of us.
yeah, and it's not a brag.
Yeah, just F in the chat for respect.
So
gentlemen.
please, if you
F in
actually
chat.
have a free Twitch Amazon Prime sub, go ahead and sub.
Yeah. Hit him out about ggMarcLee, baby. Let's go. Come on now.
So all right, let's move on. So we're gonna move on to the OTA of the week. It wasn't really a big OTA, and there's
Amazon hack will save you.
Oh, thank you,
my
Ghosty
man.
Shadow. I appreciate your Prime
Ghosty Shadow
sub.
just subscribed.
That's
Love
the
you,
man right
love
there.
you. So the patch notes we have here, the thing that changed the most was the card upgrading, and it looks beautiful now. So I'm just gonna show really quick what they changed. I'm gonna go to my most updated cards that have splits, which I believe is Iron Man. So I'm gonna go to Iron Man's page. All right, let me just show you guys real quick. So when you want to upgrade a card, I have to make it a bit smaller. So on the right, you have all this stuff that you could upgrade, right? So when you do your splits, they kind of put the splits in its own area now. So you have the base, the foil, prism, and ink, gold. Now they actually have just base. So if you don't want any what do you call it? Like the stars, the crackles and whatnot. You could just put the base on it, which is amazing. You know, some people don't like this extra stuff with it. It's a nice split. They don't want the extra stuff. They could just put it without the effects. On top of that, they changed the way prism and foil looks. So the prism effect looks so good now. So good. I mean, the foil one, you know, they upgraded too. You could see it's a bit softer. But then when you switch over to the prism, it's because it was really hard to tell the difference between did I get a foil, did I get a prism, right?
Straight up.
So now that they actually made this very distinguishable, it's really nice. Like the prism looks like diamonds in the background, while the foil, you know, it's like one of those old time cards you get in the collector's pack and whatnot. And then if you just want to stick with the base and just add effects to it, that's pretty cool. Where it's just like, oh, okay, cool. I could use any of the effects that I've unlocked, and then just put it on the base card without having to change anything. So I think they knocked it out of the park on this one. What do you guys think?
Oh, I love it. I love the fact that, you know, one, you could see it just so simply. The prism upgrade is just mwah. Like I'm just so stoked about it. I love this is what it should have been for a while. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, and I hope that they continue to make these changes, make it more graphic user interface friendly. But what do you think about the change, Dakota?
Yeah, I'm on the same page. It's exciting to see they're actually putting some effort into the customizations, you know, like being able to actually distinguish prism versus foil. Yeah, no brainer. That probably should have happened, you know, launch day, but I'm happy they're finally getting to it now because it's exciting when you get a split and you go, okay, this is pretty cool to see the card layouts that we have too. I'm happy the price went down because they're having it change every 8 hours along with, you know, your credits. It just kind of keeps you a little more focused on hopping back in and going, okay, is this the one I wanted? Is Cosmic Red in here or not? I don't know. Hopefully it is. Like, I like this a lot. I'm a big fan. I hope they continue to improve on this and just give us some more abilities on these splits. You know what I mean? Like, I love foil just as much as anyone does. Hate foil. I think we need some better designs too. Like, okay, we got foil, prism, gold, inked. That's only 4. Why don't we have more than that? You know, okay, I got gold on some. I want some different designs. Let's do a little bit more. I think they have a lot of chances to kind of branch out and help with the cosmetics. And instead of just refining, I think they should refine and improve.
The only thing that is wrong about that, sorry, I'm going to talk while I change this. The only thing I think that's wrong about that is it's more money to spend, right? Like, if you have more than gold, then what is it? Then ink, then foil, then prism, then that means there's a lower chance to get what you want. On top of that, you have to spend way more to get what you want if you want to do that.
For some of us.
My man's got that look. I know.
No.
I'm just saying when they posted on their social media account, I think it was the AI generated where they were showing like different cards.
Yeah.
They had entirely different art styles on the splits, and I was like, whoa, this looks really cool. Like they had like the I like the look. There's a one Magneto card where everything's black and white, and then there's like one thing of color. Yeah, and you know what I'm talking about? It's what like the boy looking into the reflection. And it's actually like it's Magneto. They had like a whole line of that color scheme. So like in this instance right here, Iron Man would be red and the background would be inked. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's a really cool idea where it's like you have this and then something else. Like in my opinion, I would say get rid of foil and put that in place. That's where I would stand with that. If it had to stay with 4 possible splits, I would say F foil.
Okay. I kind of agree. Where if it's like, because even now, Prism and foil, they have the same color scheme, right? So
Yeah.
if they could change it up or like take one away, I'd say, yeah, take foil away because Prism looks amazing now.
Yeah. And
So-
who wants that weird foil background at the end of the day? Like no one uses that card that I know of. I mean, if there's anyone in the chat that does, cool. You guys don't use anything foil, right? You guys
I
prefer
I use a ton of foil things, but that's because I have no other option.
Now, okay, so if would you choose Prism over foil though?
Yes,
I would. Oh yeah.
100%.
Okay.
100% Prism over foil.
Okay, cool. So,
Yeah, I'm
so
right there with you.
yeah, so we're on the same page. Foil. If you love foil, I'm sorry.
I'll pray for you.
If you love Dan Hip foils, then I'm sorry.
Oh God. What a joke.
Oh man.
I like what Ghost said too with just the base art, and that's a cool thing. Like the ability to have the customization where you can have just the base art and customize it in your own way. That's dope. That's cool.
That's amazing. So that's cool that they actually let that happen because a lot of people do love the base art, and they're just like, well, I do want, say, crackle on it, or I want some kind of effect on it. What can I do, right? The only way now is, they made it available. Yeah, kudos on them. Anything else?
Ooh. Nah, nothing.
Okay.
That was good though.
Yeah. So they also made the rotating cosmetic shop bigger, where when you wanted to buy the borders, right? And then borders are now cheaper. They should
Hallelujah.
refund the people that actually spent on that.
Start a petition, baby.
I was just like, yo, if you knew you were gonna take it down about 150 gold, dude, that's 150 gold. People bought like a full frame for their entire decks. I didn't, but I'm just saying they should be refunded. I bought some, but they, everybody
like,
should be
you
refunded.
didn't?
No, I didn't do a full deck out. I just
You
did
bought
like
them black borders though, right? You bought that $100.
Oh, I did. Why you gotta out me like
Panda,
that,
baby?
Yeah, well,
You
Mark,
spent more than that.
You know what's funny though? They're just sitting there right now because I'm so scared to use them because they're one use. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just gonna chill, and then when I like something, then I'll know when to use it. But right now, I have a bunch of borders just sitting there. Even the free green one that they gave us, I didn't use it.
I got you, man. Black border, Quicksilver, Kang. Let's see who else.
Cards you never play.
Yeah, put it on the cards you would never play in a million years. That's all you need, baby. Put it on there. Captain America, let's go.
Now, so what they did is they changed it. You can't just buy borders outright anymore. You have to wait till it changes in the shop and it shows up. So instead of 3 cosmetic sections, there's 9 now. So now you have a chance to get those borders cheaper now, which is nice. Now you have to wait for it, but it's about 150 gold cheaper, I believe. So how do you guys feel about the changes on that stuff?
it doesn't affect me a whole lot. As the reigning porpoise in this group, I don't really see myself spending too much. Though I say that, and the next thing I know, I'm going to be buying another, pro bundle and, dropping a couple $100 more on this game, even though I'm broke. As you guys know, because I work with you.
Don't out me like that.
You can out yourself. You can't out me like that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Y'all are broke too.
Whoa, hey. I'm gonna put my AirPods on.
It's the AirPods.
I got this off of Temu. It's really nice. It just doesn't have a really good tweeter on it though.
How about yourself, Dakota? How do you feel about the change to the shop?
So you were in the truck with me when I noticed it. At first, I was like, "What the fuck? Like, I can't just do what I want now," knowing damn well I haven't bought one border. So I was like, "I don't know why I'm mad. It's cheaper now too. That's great." The only time I ever came close to saying I need to buy this right now was with my Helverine variant that I have, and you're like, "Yo, look at
That's
this
so good.
with the orange cosmic," and I was like, just heavy breathing on that thing, but I didn't do it. But yeah, as far as affecting me, it does not. So it's cool. I'm like, yeah, but I agree with you. The fact that I'm saying we as in collectively, I didn't buy. But if I did buy something and they dropped the price on that border, I would be a little like, that's kind of effed up for the OG players. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, why y'all doing this to me? I better get a notice in my inbox like, oh, we know that you bought something before we dropped the price. Here's whatever the refund just to bless us. Because hey, at the end of the day, your game doesn't run without its player base. So if you keep screwing over the players, your game won't run. So I'm just saying, help us out.
Yeah, it's crazy because those were the OG supporters. They're the ones that bought the border, showed it on, say, Twitter or X or Instagram, and then they showed other people, and other people were like, yo, that looks nice. So they buy it. So they're like promoting the borders. So it's just like, yo, if I got you some money, just send back, you still get a big chunk of it. You're sending what? 100 gold back for each border you bought? That's nothing to their eyes because we already spent the gold and we're still going to spend the gold. So so it'd just be nice, if they do that, but I don't know. I don't think
a little
that's gonna,
blessing would be nice here and there.
I think
That's
it
all I
would
have to
be
say.
yeah, it'd be too much for them to, I guess, find out like how many borders did you buy and all that stuff.
We'll start a ticket. If you're in Cubed, you bought borders, let us know. We'll get this shit back right, okay?
All right. So they also, excuse me. They added alliance improvements. So they basically put a place where you could share your decks now. More emblems were released. So we did change our alliance emblem to a actual cube, which is cool.
Yeah, buddy.
So they added voices to Killmonger, Ghost Rider, Doctor Strange. Have you guys heard any of them?
I don't play with sound.
No, I don't either.
I love playing with sound. Yeah, I heard the Killmonger. I haven't heard Doctor Strange yet. And oddly enough, I still haven't heard the Ghost Rider because I haven't played a deck with him, but now I'm gonna.
Okay, cool. I wonder.
But here's my question. Does Cosmic Ghost Rider have a different voice?
I don't know. He was always
the
in
weakest
comics.
of the Ghost Riders.
Disrespect. Don't be doing that.
The
to me.
weakest.
No, hey. Down, boy.
All those voices are actually in my head because it's only in comics.
It's up here, baby. Yes.
Now,
and I couldn't resist when that Ghost Rider variant came through.
Which
I
one?
bought that one.
The DJ one?
Yeah, hell yes, I did, dude. I did that shit sober. I didn't even need. I was like, mine.
I knew you were getting because that Ghost Rider definitely looked like a DJ Ghost Rider.
Bro, I saw that. I was like, let's go, DJ Ghost Rider up in here. Yeah, damn.
All right, so for this actual patch, they actually didn't update cards specifically, like in any way. Like they only changed their wording. So they changed the wording on Shadow King, they changed the wording on Moon Knight and Baron Zemo. So it doesn't change what they do. It's just they change the wording so it's clearer for people to understand what it does. So other than that, that was the patch. Thoughts on the patch, guys?
Yeah, I don't know how to read, so it doesn't make a difference.
Dakota?
I think everything was covered pretty well. The wording changes. I wonder if that's anything to do with just there's somebody there. It's like, I hate this. Can we please do this? And they finally like, okay, Cheryl, we got you. Like, I don't know. It's kind of a weird thing to do that unless maybe some of those words is some sort of coding that affects the new activate that should be coming out. I don't know.
I was going to mention that. Maybe something has to do with activate. So
yeah. So besides that, yeah, I'm cool with it.
yeah. So Joe mentioned that Shadow King works on Colossus now because it's not considered lowering; it's just resetting, and that's such a weird thing, right? Like Shadow King, in order for them to combat the Luke Cage thing, they had to be like, okay, Shadow King doesn't care about anybody else, you know?
He's the Shadow King.
Can we all just admit that Colossus has just become too strong and really did need to be nerfed? Like, just I see him too much. He's in every deck. I'm so sick and tired of coming across these like Colossus, ridiculous, overpowered decks. You know, I lose to it every time, every single time.
Okay, I will say without Shadow King, there was this deck that ran Colossus and then did like a Wong Namora thing, and I was just like, what do I do? You can't kill it with Shang. Before you couldn't reset it with Shadow King. It's just like, well, I lose that lane.
You win other lanes.
I guess.
Good luck.
So I guess it does help that there is a way to combat that, but nobody was really playing Namora, you know? So it's just
until
funny.
she showed up on that like Bone Crusher deck out of nowhere for like a day
Yeah.
and ruined my life. Bitch.
It's okay. Season's ending soon, so we're going to have to fight the ladder again.
Don't do that. To me. Don't
Whoa,
you do that.
we got over a week. Over a week. You know what? That's a week and a half from now. Don's problem.
Exactly. But I'm so
Future
glad.
Dakota is gonna deal with that shit.
I'm so glad that it's not the week I'm going to Maryland, because I'd be like, what am I doing here?
Straight up.
Yeah, you'd only get it in like 3 hours to infinite. You know, it'd be
Dude, if I could
how would
do
you
that,
function for
man,
those 3 hours?
crazy.
I'll malfunction.
Mark in the back. Like, oh God.
All right. So now the time that we have been waiting for. This will end the portion of Marvel Snap. And we will be, spoiler alert, we will start going into the most recent Marvel movie, Deadpool and the Wolverine. So if you guys haven't seen it yet, I will give you 3 seconds to exit.
Okay, bye guys.
Imagine like, and we're done.
There's nobody there.
we haven't seen it either.
We haven't seen it yet. Like, okay, I gotta go.
All right. So whoever has stayed, you don't care about spoilers. You know, you're okay with talking about it. Let me start off the conversation by this movie has probably been the best Marvel movie released within the past 5 years, probably even more. Ever since Endgame. Endgame is 5 years ago, right? Something like that.
Dude, don't do that. I don't even know. Let me look up the old interwebs. I can't even remember off the top of my head.
Yeah.
It was before COVID.
I don't know. Guardians 3 was pretty good.
Yeah. That was a phenomenal movie.
Better though?
You know.
Better than Deadpool and Wolverine?
Storyline?
Story was
I have
better.
to say yes.
Okay, story.
As far as writing,
Okay.
I have to say yes.
And I felt like that movie, like, you know, at the end, you're just like, oh, you know, it was just a big celebration of that series coming basically to an end in a lot of ways.
Mhm.
Don't get me wrong, I love this movie. Like, so much fan service in this movie. I was zero disappointed. So I'd say maybe equal, but yes, definitely one of the best ones they put out in a long time.
Endgame came out 2019.
Okay. So about 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
I'm
and
just confirming.
Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out 2023. So just last year. Okay. I got to say Guardians did have a better story, but they also had I don't know. I would contradict myself. I was like, they had 2 movies before that. So did Deadpool. All right. So, yeah, I think Guardians had better story, but I feel like Deadpool had better action, in my opinion. But
I think it had more action that we've all been just like we wanted to see on the big screen Deadpool and Wolverine fight. We wanted
Okay.
to see those iconic things that we've seen in comics time and time again.
yeah.
But I will say that the action in Guardians 3, I don't know, as someone who just loves both movies had phenomenal music, okay? As a
Music
DJ,
was,
as a sound guy, dude, like I've been listening to the Deadpool soundtrack. I mean, y'all been in my truck, you'll hear it. It's bye bye bye, and then we start the rest of the day. It's nonstop thrill ride on that. But when it comes to the visuals and everything, I feel like Guardians, even from the first movie all the way up till now, has always reigned supreme in their music choices. Like they
Oh
do
yeah,
such a
music.
good job with those.
Definitely.
Oh, there's
Because
something about that.
it was, I think music, it was centered around music, right? It was basically centered around Peter Quill having the track player,
His
the
Walkman.
disc,
Yeah,
yes,
he's got that.
Discman. Well, it's
Mhm.
actually a Walkman, not Discman, because it was a
Mhm.
tape, right?
Yeah, it's a Walkman.
Okay, so yeah.
Oh man, I sent us down a rabbit hole here, guys.
Sorry,
Now
I'm sorry.
we're reviewing
No.
the Guardians movie. It's like, okay, I know it's only been like 2 years or a year and a half, but the
That's my
Guardians
bad.
movie.
I'm sorry. I just have to say, like,
Yeah, if you haven't seen it yet, spoilers are
I
coming.
started. Spoiler alerts for the
Guardians.
Guardian movie, guys. Like, just put it out there. The story's better.
And if you haven't seen it, go ahead and leave now. We'll give you time to leave. Go open Disney Plus and watch it.
Damn it, Don! Look what you've done.
All right. So besides that, throughout the whole downfall, because they were saying MCU was going down. How would you guys? How excited are you guys for the future of Marvel?
I think there's some really cool stuff. So we were talking about before the podcast started. We were talking about how the Russo brothers are coming back.
Yes.
For the next couple of Avengers movies. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Doctor Doom. Spoiler alert. I'm sorry if anyone doesn't know.
What?
If you haven't seen Doomsday, leave now.
It was so I think we're gonna see some cool stuff. It'll be interesting seeing them try to integrate Deadpool specifically into these movies.
Yeah.
Because he is such a fun character.
Yes.
And he does have, he's a merc with a mouth, right? Like
he's an R-rated.
It'll be interesting. Yeah. It's it's R-rated. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be interesting to see how they introduce him into it, how they bring him into, and how they kind of scale back some of his stuff. But let's be honest, aren't we all just going to be amazed to see him like Ryan Reynolds alongside so many other? Well, how many of them are left even? But
they're bringing a lot back, so.
Oh, I know. It'll be fun to see. A lot. It'll be real fun to see.
Well, especially with Secret Wars, right? Because Secret Wars, it might bring back even more characters.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that would be because, at the end of the movie, he did save all those universes. That means they still exist. So, even though they said goodbye to the Fox universe, doesn't mean that those characters can't come back still.
You mean the Gambit?
Exactly. The Gambit, the Blade.
Oh
man,
how excited were you guys when you saw? I'm sorry. I know for me, when I saw Blade, I couldn't help but in the theater just be like, "Oh shit!" Like I was so excited because I stayed away from as many spoilers as possible. I had no idea that Wesley Snipes, who's very old, was going to be in it. But I was just like, oh my goodness, like that was one of my favorites.
Yeah. So when he showed up, unfortunately, I did see spoilers, and I'm all about the spoilers. But unfortunately, he was introduced along Jennifer Garner, along with Channing Tatum, and Daphne Keane. They were all introduced in Comic-Con. So, also Chris Evans. They were on the stage. So I was just like, oh, I wish this is the one that I wish I didn't see, because all of their cameos were so good, and I think I would have lost my mind if I didn't know about it. But I guess my hype kind of like chilled, so I was able to absorb it without getting so hyped.
I get you.
Yeah.
I lost it. I absolutely died laughing when he's like, he's gonna say it, Avengers, and he's like, flame on. He's like, what the fuck, like, dude, that moment, the whole thing. And my wife, she hasn't seen any of that nonsense.
She
doesn't know
hasn't?
it. No, she hasn't. So to hear her go, this was like a highlight for me. It's like quiet. She goes, what the fuck? I mean, I'm dying of laughing because of what's happening right now in front of me. And then she responds like that. I'm just like, bro, this is amazing. So much so, she's like, we got to watch all the older, Marvel stuff. I'm like, oh, yes,
Yeah.
praise God. Because she missed all that. I made her watch Iron Man up until Endgame.
Oh,
and I was
okay.
like,
So
after
all
that,
MCU stuff.
yeah, I was like, let's watch this. I didn't make her go through Ghost Rider. I didn't make her go through Fantastic Four, any of the older things. She hasn't. I don't think she's finished all the Spider-Mans either with Tobey Maguire or the ones with Andrew Garfield
I don't think I finished.
or Tom Holland.
I don't think I finished any of the Ghost Rider ones. I saw the first one. I don't think I saw the second. I definitely didn't see the second Punisher. Or is there a third Punisher?
I think there's two for sure. I don't know about a third.
Okay.
There were two, but they are the same
Different guys.
prince. They're origin stories, right?
Oh, okay.
So both of them are origin stories, and then you had the show
series,
Punisher, which was,
Yeah,
so
I saw that
three
one.
storytellings. Yeah,
Yeah. So I saw all the Netflix ones, but I don't think I finished the second Ghost Rider and the second Punisher then. So and I can't find them anywhere. You actually have to like buy it to rent it, I believe. They're not on what is it?
Any streaming services?
No, not any streaming services that I have at least. So I only saw that it was on Amazon and you have to buy it to watch it. And I'm just like, eh.
Do you have a DVD player?
You actually have them?
I think I do.
I
I'll have to go through my library, but I'm pretty sure I have the Ghost Riders.
okay, I don't. I was looking to see if any of my computers have a disc thing, and I was just like, no, I don't have one.
No worries.
Why don't you just phone record it?
We'll do a
and then
watch party.
post it.
We'll do a watch party with all of our followers. We can sit in here and we'll watch one of these movies.
Okay, so let's. Okay, I know we kind of went all over the place, but let's.
I'm sorry, Don. Look what you did.
sorry. You throw something out there, you throw a little, you just watch the world burn.
Got me excited about Guardians 3.
All right.
I'm a creep.
Let's start at the beginning, where he's at his work. We're finding out that he is no longer doing Deadpool. Oh, geez, okay. Because
What happened there? Oh my
I know.
Wait, am I drunk?
He's not doing Deadpool anymore because he was passed over to join the Avengers. So how do you feel about that? He actually went to the sacred timeline and asked what's his name? Jon Favreau?
Yeah.
Happy to join the Avengers because, what's her name? What's his girl's name?
Vanessa.
See, thank you. So Vanessa says she wants him to do more. Not do more, but like be more, like because he wasn't doing anything, right? There at the time he wasn't mercenarying. I don't know what it's called. So how do you guys feel about her wanting him to do more?
I think it's just a plot. Like I think that's where the story plot line,
Starts,
hey, how do we do this as quick as possible?
Yeah.
Or how can we get him into some mundane job? Well, you're just not doing enough. It's like, okay.
Well, he wasn't
I
making
will.
money, right? I think that was the thing. Because in the very first Deadpool, he was actually still a mercenary, and he was part of that that bar that was getting money by doing mercenary stuff. So I'm like, in this one, where did it go? Maybe, I guess, story-wise, they were just like, yeah, maybe not.
And like another plot hole, and I know I'm just going to start something here, is so he traveled to the sacred timeline. Well, wasn't it just a time machine that he had, not a cross-universe, like, universal jumping thing? And, like, or are we saying that he exists in a universe where the Avengers and the X-Men exist already? I don't know.
Interesting.
Like,
Yeah.
I love the movie.
Yeah. No, because you're right. Because at the end of, well, no, okay. It was a universe jumping one, right? Because he jumped at the end, he jumped where he shot himself before taking the Green Lantern movie.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I get that, but
yeah.
that's not what Cable
Yeah.
was using
Yeah,
it for.
exactly.
So they kind of changed that there.
Yeah.
But he fixed it up with
Negasonic.
Negasonic, Teenage Warhead, and what's her name? Yoki?
Whoa.
Wasn't that her name?
Yuki.
It was,
Wow.
Yuki.
Wasn't it?
It's Yuki.
Wow.
Yukio.
Huh?
Yukio.
No. Oh,
Yukio.
Yukio.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So maybe she has the ability to enhance it. Maybe that's part of her mutant abilities. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe that could be a
I
little
mean,
play line.
this feels like a stretch.
It
you
is.
know.
It definitely is.
Well, it's a Deadpool movie.
Yeah. I mean,
He can look at
let's
the
be
camera
honest.
and tell you what's going on.
I wasn't there. After you saw literally the opening sequence where all of a sudden, like, he is just killing people with Wolverine's dead corpse, like, who cares?
yeah. Yeah, right? Because that's the thing. Like, he goes back to his apartment before that, right? Before taken by the TVA. And he goes, oh, all the people that I love are here. But you don't see the guy from the bar. I forgot his name. Wade's friend. The one that gave him the Deadpool name, basically.
I'm completely drawing a blank on his name.
Yeah, that's because he doesn't do much shows anymore, TV.
Oh, really? In real life?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did something happen?
If I remember right, don't quote me because I could be wrong here. I think he said some very non-kosher, very offensive things,
Oh,
and
okay.
basically wasn't brought back for the movie.
Okay. Makes sense.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah. I mean, if James Gunn it was James Gunn that got fired from Guardians, right? For a little bit. Because he said something in like 2011 and he tweeted something. So, I mean, if it was more recently, then I guess I understand Disney's standpoint on a lot of stuff. But
He
yeah,
was
that
canned.
sucks. He was canned. They didn't bring back Cable. They didn't bring back Domino.
Yeah, where the heck was Domino?
They brought back Shatterstar and they brought back Peter. What happened to the Vanisher? Did they still die at the end? Like, did he just say?
Wait, you didn't see the Vanisher?
He was in there.
He was there the whole time.
A lot of people were saying it was because Chris Evans took a lot of the budget.
Dude, if that's legit when he made that comment too, that's even better.
Yeah. So he's just like, oh, he had to die because of the budget. But okay, so after that, he gets taken by a TVA. That he's basically introduced to that in his universe, their Logan was their Nexus being, basically.
Anchor being or whatever.
Yeah, so there's
Anchor
being, Nexus being, and in What If they called Doctor Strange the girl dying in Doctor Strange was like a
Nexus event.
Nexus event or something like that. No, Nexus event was used for the Spider-Man.
That was Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, I forgot what they called it in What If, but then I think it's three of the same thing, right? Something has to happen. Somebody has to be there. It's that certain person or that action, right?
Yeah.
So because Logan dies in the Logan movie and it's in the same universe as Deadpool, the timeline degrades, but then it takes a while to degrade. So it's pretty funny that it degrades, but I believe the Logan movie was like years like or decades ahead of the actual Deadpool timeline.
I'm gonna look it up because that was my thing too. It's like if that's the case in the Logan universe, like mutants aren't a thing anymore because the government's putting stuff in their food and all that other stuff.
Yeah, but then if you go into Deadpool's universe, Colossus is still there. All those mutants are still there, right? So it happens in the future of their future of that timeline. So why couldn't he just save the Logan that is in his present and prevent him from dying? I don't know. That was, another plot hole. But after that happens, he steals the TVA's thing, and then he goes to Logan, and that's when the fight happens. That one was really good. That fight introduced the NSYNC song, and which was great. That's when the intro. That was basically the intro song, and I'm kind of getting peeved by people that are posting it because they're learning the dance, but they're calling it the Deadpool dance.
Dude, yes, I was cracking up about that.
I think it's great.
My enchiladas. What a blessing.
So
It's funny how they were just disappearing.
it's just an empty plate. Yo, that's a big enchilada.
You know the vibes.
So basically, he fights the TVA and then ends up taking the TVA's device to go find a anchor being to replace the Logan that they lost, right? So that's why he travels to different universes to find a different Logan. So there is a lot of Logans seen. I think the very first one was the comic accurate one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
The short one.
yeah. So the thing I like about this comic accurate one is he actually jumps off of a bar stool to approach him. Now, I thought that would have been played by either like Daniel Radcliffe or Danny DeVito. Now, I've heard rumors that Daniel Radcliffe was like being looked at to be the next Wolverine because of his height. But I've also heard Danny DeVito did he dress up as Wolverine in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Oh man.
I don't remember.
I can't remember if he did or not.
Because I thought that's why what the talks were about him trying, just being a cameo. But we see other ones just like Patch, where he's a more sophisticated one. We see a Wolverine that's missing an arm. We see one that's fighting the Hulk. We see one on an X, right? He was on an X just like Magneto in the comic book, or in the X-Men 97. But he wasn't in his underwear, right? Or was he in his underwear?
I think he's in his underwear.
Ah, okay. So I wonder if that's a thing. Because they did it to Magneto in X-Men 97.
Yeah, it's from the Reavers. That issue is a wild ass comic. Takes place in Australia.
Mm-hmm.
After we saw the movie, I was like, I gotta learn more about this ship.
Oh,
That's
really?
a wild comic.
Okay.
Absolutely insane.
Okay. So next he sees did I miss any before I go to the other cameo?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So he sees the Cavalrine. Okay. So we talked about Henry Cavill quite a bit of episodes ago on who, he was kind of being eyed to play a part in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked about him being Cyclops. Not that he still can't. But how do you guys feel about him actually being Wolverine?
I don't see them making him Wolverine. I mean, like, that's taking Wolverine from like already being way bigger to like even a larger, muscular, like it's just ridiculously bigger. It's like everyone liked this big Wolverine who's 6 foot. You know what's better? 6'3" and 20% more muscle. Let's go.
How about you?
Let's supersize him.
How about you, Dakota? How would you feel about him?
Honestly, if that's the only role that he's allowed to be in because he likes it that much, or I don't know why, when it comes down to it, I'm for it. I don't really care if it's comically accurate at this point because we already saw what the comically accurate is, and it's a joke. So I'm like, bro, let's let it roll. I'm in with that.
See, okay, I'm with Dawn. I'm actually like 50% with both of you. So if he is chosen, that's fine because we already have a tall Wolverine and we're used to it, right? But they can't have a puny Cyclops, right? You'd have to make Cyclops even more imposing. And that's the thing. That's going to be hard to do. So if they could make Henry Cavill Cyclops, I'm still for it. And then
Henry Cavill as Wolverine and The Rock as Cyclops.
No, please, God, no. I don't want Kevin Hart or The Rock anywhere near the MCU, bro.
It's The Rock.
Dwayne the Cyclops.
No, get them out of here.
The
bro.
Rock is Cyclops, and then
imagine that?
Kevin Hart is Wolverine.
Yeah, dude. Cyclops, what we doing over here? No, I don't want that nonsense. Get out of here.
Don's on to something.
Well, let's be honest. They do a backstory, okay? Follow me. They do a backstory on Wolverine, and you have Kevin Hart as Puck, right? Which
That's actually pretty good.
Okay, all right, let him cook.
and then you have Dwayne Johnson as
Captain Britain.
oh, it's not
Canada. What is it, Canada?
Sasquatch. You just have him play Maui. You merge the universes. It's all Disney. It's fine. Like
You're welcome.
Oh man. Okay, so the last one he sees is the one that becomes the Wolverine that is in the movie. And basically, this is basically a loser Wolverine that failed his universe. Long story short, he went out to get drunk while everybody got slaughtered, right? And then he came back and, yeah, everyone was dead. So he failed his universe. After that, Deadpool, since he brings him back, they basically say, hey, I got a replacement for our anchor being. And it doesn't work like that, supposedly. And so they start running away. Or, no, they get what is it? When they got put the wand? What did they call that? Do you guys remember? Like, it's not tased. They get, like, they get sent to the...
They get sent to the void.
The void. They get sent to the void.
I don't know what it's called, but it's, what do they call that?
Yeah, they called it something. I can't think of it right now. I'm on the spot.
Loki.
So they get sent to the void where they come across basically Chris Evans as Johnny Storm, thinking it's Captain America. And they come across Sabretooth and, these basically it was, what was the Mad Max kind of style, right? So you see Sabretooth, you see Pyro, you see Toad, all those people. And he kills Sabretooth fast. Oh, wait, no, they fight each other first, right? So great fight, but, they come across all these people. And they're taken to see Cassandra Nova. And this was, like, kind of perfect because when it came out, Cassandra was in Deadpool's diner. So the release of this stuff on Marvel Snap is actually on point.
Oh, yes.
So they get to Cassandra and you see more of these what is it? Cameos. So you see a Juggernaut look-alike. It's not the same Juggernaut, because the guy that played Juggernaut didn't want to, supposedly. But you see X-23, you see Azazel, you see... Do you guys remember who else?
I think the Pixie version that's from is it First Class was there?
Okay, that was her. So that was Pixie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I think was Psylocke from Apocalypse there as well?
That's what I heard.
You
I
had Lady Deathstrike.
Lady Deathstrike.
yes.
Oh, I said X-23.
The-
I was wrong. It's Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah, the villain from The Punisher, the Russian, he was there.
Okay. So, yeah, we see a lot of these bad guys they're basically under Cassandra Nova, and she's collecting people? Is that what she wants? She's just collecting people to make, and she wanted a Wolverine? Is that what it was?
I think she was just collecting people to start a war, right?
Against the TVA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that sounds about right. I just didn't know why she wanted a Wolverine, because she didn't want Deadpool, right? She said Deadpool, there were dime a dozen. She had a bunch of them, as you find out later in the movie. So Wolverine is not okay with that, and they make a break for it. Basically, they survive by jumping out out of a Sentinel. Did you get another one? Or is that the same
Hell
one?
yeah. No, of course I got another
Oh,
one.
no.
You know who the hell I am. Jesus save me.
Thank you, Casey.
I know. Man, way to invite us over. You could have done the podcast from one
Wow.
camera.
Time out. We're right here.
you
Say,
you get the blessing
to
of
airplane.
watching me eat it. All right. So, what happens next? Oh, yeah. They make a break for it from a sentinel foot or something.
Yeah, they use a Sentinel foot away from Eliath.
Yeah, to escape Eliath, which they made Eliath look badass. This Eliath looks way better than the Loki Eliath.
The
So.
Pandart variant is exactly what he
Mhm.
looks like now.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So they end up talking and all, then they come across Nice Pool. They come across Dog Pool and Nice Pool before they meet the other cameos. Now, what did you think about Nice Pool?
Those are
Oh, it was
crackers.
fun. Yeah, I think it was just hilarious just seeing, first of all, Dogpool, and then having that character just well, come here. It's funny because, Deadpool is so ugly underneath his mask, and they used a pretty ugly dog for Dogpool.
It's such a hideous dog. It's the ugliest dog I've ever seen. It's I don't know why Deadpool is acting like this is such a cute dog. I would literally be like, oh God, get away from me.
So I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was voted the ugliest dog. I don't know if it was in Australia or Europe or it was somewhere. It was voted the ugliest dog, and it's a she. So it just makes it, even more funnier. But but yeah, they come across them, and then he gives them a vehicle. And they basically, what vehicle did he make fun of? It was it was a Toyota.
A Honda.
Right? Oh, Honda.
Was a Honda Odyssey?
Was it Odyssey?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So they end up driving away and then end up fighting in the Honda Odyssey, and their second fight, which, both fights were amazing. Choreographed, really great. He always, whenever he uses baby knife, he always says baby knife. So,
Oh, dude, that shit was hilarious.
And then as they end their fight, you see it hours later, and Deadpool's wrapped up in the seat belts, but then somebody takes the car and takes them to their hideout, and we find out it was X-23, and she's there with uh, blanking Blade, Gambit, and Elektra. So they talk about, taking over Cassandra Nova's base. And so they go there to the base and we get to see a fight using all of them. How did you guys, it's kind of hard, when you have a lot of characters and, this is even more props to people that did, Endgame, the story writers of Endgame and Infinity War, right? You have so many characters that do such different things, and you got to give them a thing to do, like each of them, right? So, how do you guys feel about like when that like stuff like that happens? Like, because we haven't seen Gambit at all in any other movie. Yeah, we saw Elektra. Yeah, we saw Blade, but they're fighting. Their enemies are so different from what we've seen in the MCU, right? Like Blade fights vampires. X-23, she, the last person she probably fought was her dad, in Logan. Jennifer Garner is just a tough girl. In the movies.
Whoa.
If I'm not
She's an
mistaken,
assassin.
she's if I'm not mistaken,
Elektra,
she was trained by the Hand, right?
yeah. I mean, just say that Elektra is just a girl. I mean, that's wow, Mark.
You didn't let me
Sexist
finish. So she doesn't have any.
She's like a really tough girl.
She doesn't have any superhuman abilities, right?
And neither does Black Widow, but
But she has electric thingies.
Her
and
name is
guns.
Elektra. She probably
and
got
guns.
something.
She has guns. Elektra has Raphael's size.
I was gonna say she got the Raphael. You ain't messing with that. Come on. I've seen what that turtle can do. I don't want to mess with it. No.
So and then you have Daphne Keane, which was like I was kind of disappointed in X-23. We didn't get to see her fight using her claws as much. I didn't really see her. I don't know. I was hoping for like more of a Wolverine. You know how his fighting style changed. He's a different Wolverine, right? So his fighting style changed. He was more animalistic. So that I was hoping to see something like that because in Logan she was the one that was animalistic. She was very low to the ground, but you didn't really see too much of that because I guess she's just a side character. So. So they
hey, she's a side chick, man. Mark, you are not doing well tonight. Not doing well at all. Just a tough chick and a side chick. Wow.
Well, she has power. She has regenerative abilities, so she's a step ahead of Elektra, probably 2 steps. But we also see them fight for Juggernaut's helmet, right? Because they're saying that the only way to stop Cassandra Nova is to get Juggernaut's helmet and just to put it on her and then take it off.
Mm-hmm.
And then she sends them back to their universe where she ends up going. Yeah.
If I may.
Yeah, go ahead.
If I may. That scene in Deadpool when she lets him go back to the universe.
Yeah.
And she uses the sling ring that she got from who knows what variant of the wizards or whatever. That song choice that they used, I'll Be Seeing You by Jimmy, I think it's Durant. My grandma and grandpa, that was like their song. So for me, that scene had so much more just like the slow-mo effect. She's like, you got 4 seconds to either leave through this or life gets you. And it was such an awesome moment. Cinematography, music. I was so just like, oh, this is what I love about Marvel. When they have those moments that you can just think about, you're like, I mean, since that, I've only seen this movie once, and that scene has replayed in my head so many times. And again, that song has a lot of meaning to me, but I'm telling you, I just have to bring that up. Like that scene, oh, so awesome.
All right. So basically, they go back to their own time, try and stop. Excuse me. Try and stop the Time Ripper, trying to get back to Paradox, right? And then they, fast forward, they end up saving the place, but they also fight a bunch of Deadpools, which there were so many different Deadpools. Baby Pool, Kid Pool, Head Pool.
Gal Gadot pool.
What was that?
Wasn't it Gal Gadot who played the?
The girl?
Yeah.
No, it was
No, I think I'm
Blake.
wrong.
It was Blake.
Lively.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people thought it was
Sorry.
Taylor Swift because they're very good friends, but no, it was Blake Lively, which is really fitting. I wish they
Taylor Swift don't have them hips.
I wish they actually showed, Blake Lively, because then we could have seen like an ugly Blake Lively, which is, I'd love to see how you can make that woman hideous. But
Don't think you can.
Is Lady Deadpool hideous though?
I'm pretty sure.
I could have sworn that like in a lot of the illustrations I've seen, she has a normal. Let me see. I'm gonna look that up.
Okay. Yeah, but before that, Nice Pool comes back, and it's so that scene was so funny where he uses Nice Pool as a shield because he thinks he has a healing factor. But he does that just to get his guns in the end, which is amazing. And then they save the world by destroying the Time Ripper machine, and then we see how jacked Hugh Jackman is still, which is insane. This guy is like 55, man. I can see why.
Jack.
Yeah, huge jacked man is what this.
Huge.
Yeah, I could see why he has, you could get fatigue from filming movies like this because that guy's, he's up there, but he has to stay in great shape, and on top of that, what he says is he dehydrates himself you could see the veins more, you could see the abs more just by doing that stuff. So
good.
Yeah,
Did you
that
find
was
something?
an awesome scene too, man. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm just talking about Hugh Jackman. No. That was so good.
Yeah.
So good.
So and he dons the mask of Wolverine.
Yes.
What did you guys think about that?
Oh, it was so. I loved it. It was just like, wow.
It looks so CGI though.
Okay.
I don't either. It's just the continuity in me. I was like, where was it hiding? It would be cool if it was just like a hood flapping in the back, right?
Kind of
You'd
like
be
Captain America's.
yeah.
How
So
he
he's
just
like, it's there. He just hasn't put it on. And then the whole time you're like, when is he gonna put it on? When is he gonna put it on? But then this just appeared out of nowhere. It's just like, oh, I had this.
Superheroes, dude. They're like Skyrim characters. They have inventory. They just gotta find it, and then boom, there it is.
I mean, you did miss the most important plot point, though.
What was that one?
Peter saving the day.
Oh,
in the
yeah. So, yeah.
Fucking balls, bro. What was up with that stack, man? When he came in, like I literally was just like,
Wait, really? I didn't notice that.
I mean, I wasn't looking.
it was hard to miss. Homie was packing heat, man.
Oh,
It looked
really?
like he had
No,
freaking
I mean,
tumors. What was the what's the benign
Benign and a half.
scrub? Yeah, benign.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah.
No,
I'll send you a
Yeah,
picture.
no, I didn't see that.
I didn't either, but I loved in the very beginning where he was talking about, I have this friend, he was going through something and he just got 2 nipple piercings that led straight down, and he goes, it's just a friend, it's not me. And then you see him in the party, he lifts up his shirt, he's like,
He's like, pull it real good. Fucking Peter. That shit was funny.
So
as hell.
Peter saves the day. They say that every world has a Peter, and I guess Peter is their guy, so it stops them from fighting, so they could save the world, their world basically. And they save their world. The TVA actually finds out what Paradox is doing, and they put an end to it. And basically, Wolverine gets to stay. and he mentions to the TVA lady that, hey, we have some friends that were in the void. Is there something you can do about it? And she goes, I'll see what I can do. In the end, you see that X-23 is with them because supposedly she's from that universe. That's the universe she actually came from. And the other ones, the reason why they weren't in there, because they weren't in that universe. They were returned back to their own universe. So Gambit was returned to his own universe. Elektra and Blade, same thing. So there was a lot of questions about that. Like, hey, we see X-23. What happened to the others, right? So supposedly they were returned. And supposedly their timeline, because of what happened, is continuing exponentially. So we don't know what's going to happen. It was a nice send-off to Fox's universe. I hear that Secret Wars is going to be centered around Wolverine. So he's going to be one of the main ones. And he said he's only going to come back if he gets to act alongside Tobey Maguire and Robert Downey Jr.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So we're going to get another Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, and we know Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Doom. So he's going to act a lot, he's not going to, be Iron Man when he's acting alongside Hugh Jackman, which is crazy. So that's going to be exciting. Now,
Oh boy.
overall, out of 10, what would you guys rate this movie?
Are we talking about like getting real technical, or are we talking about what my heart says? Because my heart
what's your
gives
heart?
this a 10.
Okay. Let's
My
come from the
my
heart.
heart. I love the movie. I will watch it probably 5 or 6 more times when it comes to Disney Plus. I mean, in a row. Um, 5 or 6 times in a row. It'll just be on a constant loop. My wife will get sick and tired of it, and me and my son will just be there, having too much fun the whole time. But yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I loved the cameos. I loved just all the little things that happen. It was good to see so many things going on. Um, I mean, who doesn't? I love the Deadpool movies in the first place, but
Yes.
to get to see him to do it with a budget this time, where the last couple times the budget has been a lot less.
Yeah.
It was real nice to see. I was worried originally when, obviously, Disney bought the Fox universe. We knew the third Deadpool movie was going to be a Disney produced movie.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good to see that they didn't completely fuck it up.
Yeah. I mean, the only thing they changed basically was don't show cocaine, right? So they even
was
make
so funny.
they made a joke about it, but they couldn't show it. They didn't say don't talk about it, right? They use all the nicknames on it, but they didn't show it. So I guess that was the only thing Feige didn't want was drug use shown. So
A win's a win.
win's a win. Yeah, it's not so bad if we don't have to see cocaine. How about yourself, Dakota? What would you rate it?
I'm right there with Don. I mean, the whole time I had a big smile on my face. From start to finish, I was pumped, especially the end credits. I couldn't stop laughing at that scene.
Oh,
This one's a 10 in my heart. When it comes down to the cliche, like I need to be more or whatever, I felt like the story was just a little bit lacking, but there was
Yeah.
so many great things that happened along the movie that I kind of didn't care.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it was just like, dude, this movie is everything that little kid me always wants. Those moments in a movie always wants, you know what I mean? Just to like actually see all this unfold on the big screen, it just makes you so happy. And so for me, this was right up there. This is probably my all-time favorite just happiness movie. Like I'll watch this anytime I want. I cannot wait for this to come out because I'll throw this on all the time. Just like, oh yes, Deadpool. Like it's just got all those things you love, and the humor in it is honestly my favorite. You know, everyone in my family growing up, we're a little rough around the edges and how we talk to each other. This is exactly what I love. this is like home for me. So I'm like, I love it. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no bars
this is
hold
probably it.
jokes. You know, it's like you don't have to worry about people's feelings jokes.
Yeah, no one gets offended, and that's
Yeah.
what I like. I mean, they even said the R word on this one, which I was surprised. They dropped that down, and I'm like, okay, cool. Like, people not as offended anymore? Is this okay? Can we start? Are we Eminem in this? Is things coming back to the reality? I don't know, but yeah, they had a lot of things they pushed the boundaries on. I was shocked that this is a Disney thing, a Disney film. But you know what? Similar to the other Deadpool movies, there's so much just like boom, joke, craziness, fun, and then there's these serious moments like when you actually hear why this Wolverine is the worst.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that scene really draws you in. And
Mhm.
I think that's what makes these movies so good. It's similar to, I know you mentioned Guardians 3. It's similar to
Mhm.
that, where you have so much highs and then there's these just serious moments where as adults we understand things a little bit differently now. And it's
Yeah.
cool to have the mixture.
Even though that scene was just to lure Cassandra Nova in, they made it like hit, right? Like you didn't know
Dude.
where they were going with it. Like, how are they going to do this? You know, until it happened.
Yeah.
So, last question I have for you guys is: are there name 2 characters you would have liked to see in the movie? So I'll start with the. Let me give you like 15 seconds.
Ghost Rider.
Okay, okay. Dakota has this. Go ahead. Ghost Rider and
Ghost Rider for sure.
so
And
Nicolas
Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Cage's.
I want Ghost Rider and Cosmic Ghost Rider. That's it. That's all I freaking need. Dude, forget about it. Yeah, Ghost Rider is right there. And then, honestly, I would have loved, just because my top 2, obviously, I would love to have seen a Venom in some way, shape, or form. I know that's so out of left field, but
Like
I would have
Eric
loved to
Foreman
see.
Venom?
No, like Eddie Brock Venom.
Eddie Brock. So
So Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy. Okay.
I know it's like makes no sense, but I would be like, at this point, we're throwing in stuff like that. I would have
Yeah.
just loved to have seen that.
He's just Sony.
He's Sony. He's not
He's-
Fox. That's
Yeah.
right.
What wasn't?
Oh.
But Ghost Rider is Fox, right?
I believe so. Let me see.
How about you, Don?
Man, that's a great question because like the name that popped into my head first was Green Goblin, but I know we just saw that actually not too
Yeah,
long ago.
right.
Dude, Defoe.
Right.
Oh my god.
William Dafoe, but we saw him in the Spider-Man, so I don't think I would go there. We can kind of eliminate all the Spider-Man stuff because we did see them.
Yeah.
You want to see stuff that you haven't seen.
Yeah.
I think it would have been fun if they would have pulled in like the Punisher from the Netflix series. You know,
Ooh.
something around that because like
Okay.
they went Fox, they went like just kind of pull some of that in.
Yeah.
That probably would be one. So, let's see, what else would I think it would have been cool to see Cyclops come back.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
or even just have like a Phoenix Force fly over like the area,
Oh, okay.
like a Jean Grey. Ooh, Jean Grey. With Jean Grey, I think I would love to see that too, because you could have that whole interaction of like, because Jean Grey and Wolverine, you know, he allowed them to die in this universe as well as so seeing him react with a Jean Grey character.
Mhm.
I think that would have been just amazing.
Okay. So for me, I feel like I would have loved to see both Professor X's in both franchises. Just because I think it would have they could have done a little story where Cassandra Nova, you know, killed them in the sense, but also like why, you know, like because we hear the story about them on like why she doesn't like Professor Xavier, but I would have liked that interaction between brother and sister, right? I think that
would
would
have been cool.
yeah, that would have made the story more like, yo, she's a villain, right? She just killed 2 Professor X's, you know? She really doesn't like them.
Both of them.
Both of them. Well, what are you looking for, Dakota?
I got an 80s Egypti in here right now. I'm not even kidding. I saw it just now.
You should call somebody.
Always working.
No, I'm in San Bernardino. Yo, Bill, get your ass out here.
Yeah,
No
so
Wait, you're telling people where you're at. Doxing.
I don't know where.
You're doxing yourself.
all right, so you said
I'm in
Ghost
Harupa
Rider.
Valley.
You said Ghost Rider, and who was your second one?
I was thinking Venom just
oh yeah,
because
that's right. Okay.
there's so many cool arcs that you could have with that character. The symbiote and him go through so much that it'd be cool to have that chance to get the Venomized Wolverine, the Venomized all this. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many awesome stories where they all combine. That's just me. I'm like, I love anything symbiote. So I'm like, that'd be so cool to have something like that. I know that's super out of left field. I don't know how that would really fit in with anything, because if we're going on brand, it's going to be something along the X-Men. So I think what Don says is probably more like it.
Yeah.
The Blob.
That would have been amazing because the blob what was there was a blob-ish figure in X-Men 3 where like he's like walking around, right, and then they're meeting in the church, and then like he goes to sit down and he turns skinny. And it wasn't the blob that we know, because the blob that we know wasn't like X-Men origins or Wolverine origins. So it was just funny that a big guy like that was there, and then I guess his power was to turn fat.
Oh, you know what? Hang on. Gwenpool. I was expecting her to be in this. 100%. I was like, okay. I mean, the fact that this is... Here's the thing. Not only is it in Marvel Snap, but it's also in Fortnite. Both characters. Or that exact character is in both. So I was like, dude, I was fully expecting Gwenpool to pop up in this. So that was kind of like, what the heck? And then Vanessa, you know, his love interest is Copycat. So I was like, oh shit, maybe she's gonna this movie have powers, but that didn't happen either. So
Yeah, I think it would. I think Copycat would have taken story away from Wolverine, but on the other Gwenpool, just to have it as a Easter egg, I feel like it should have been. She should have been there.
yeah, I didn't see her. If she was at some point, I gotta find it.
Was Gwenpool a mercenary?
I don't think so.
Also, is it based off of Gwen Stacy?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? I didn't think so.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I think so.
Because there's Spider Gwen, and then if it's Gwenpool like the same Gwen, then I could see why they didn't do it, because that's Sony.
Let's see.
All right, Dakota's doing a lookup real quick.
I'm doing some fact checking.
Some researching. But for me, I just want to do my rating. I feel Don's rating was perfect. It's a great movie. What you mentioned earlier, story, a little lacking. But like I said, I think it's because I didn't feel anything for Paradox or for Cassandra Nova, right? They were supposed to be the enemies of the movie. I just feel like they weren't great enemies. So that was the only reason why the story kind of lacked for me, because once they were through, it just felt like that's what I sat down for. You know, it was kind of anticlimactic. So did you find it?
Yeah, they're not the same.
Okay. Well, what's the name of Gwenpool? Like, what's her actual name?
Gwenpool is Gwendolyn Poole.
Oh,
The
okay.
first. That's Gwendolyn is her first name. Pools, and it's Poole, and it's in a lot of bold that they're not the same person. And this character, the reason why they also went with this is they originally thought that this would just be a variant of her, but because of issues of owning, they created a whole new character so they could run this issue. Because Gwenpool is, like you just mentioned, under Sony.
I see.
I'm sorry, Gwen Stacy. Yeah,
Is under.
Gwenpool.
Okay.
So that's why they also made sure that she was not the same. It says even though they have similar appearances, they are not the same. So yeah,
Cool.
they
Good
go
to
on
know.
that.
All
I
right.
stand corrected.
So, anything else you guys would like to add before we end?
No, just thanks for sticking around on this extremely short podcast. And we love you guys. Thank you so much for everyone who's in our alliance, putting in the work. Definitely, Mark and they're all just helping me. Who's sitting at the bottom there, just slacking off. But thank you all for watching, listening, all that.
Dakota?
Yeah, yeah, same thing. Just love you guys. It's awesome. We're slowly just growing on all of our platforms. It's awesome. And, I look over now and then I'm like, oh, cool, we got 5 people. That's crazy. It's like, oh shoot. So it's awesome to have you guys just want to, hear what we have to say. If you want to engage, all that stuff, it's cool. It's fun. You guys like the memes. If you like the stuff, share it, please, so we can, continue to grow. And we're thinking about moving Monday nights. Hopefully, we'll be a little more consistent to our official podcast night for a while. So keep an eye out for that. But again, a huge thank you for just being here. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much for the alliance, guys. Everyone, y'all
Yes.
hilarious. Enjoy your conversations.
Cubed Alliance guys, we appreciate you guys. And we have 2 more spots, right? I think we have 2,
Is
if I'm
it
not
2
mistaken, or 1. So,
Let's see.
We can
So-
make more room later. It's fine.
yeah, if you if you guys know anybody
Like picking me.
anybody else that wants to join, just let us know. We are very bounty focused because we want to get you all that free stuff. Everybody deserves free stuff. So, hopefully this week, what is it? We're close. We got some guys putting in some work. That's insane. Like on the 3rd day, we're already like almost done. But the faster we get those done, the sooner we get to like just chill, which is amazing. But I just
relax finally.
yeah. So if you could shout out the 3 guys, do you have the game open? Could you shout out the top 3 guys in our alliance?
All right, so we got Ghostface number 1, Don Lucky, and Sofa King.
Yes. Shout out,
6.
guys.
And right underneath that is my boy G. But
No,
seriously, you guys are putting in so much work. Thank you guys. Really
Yeah.
appreciate you.
So and alliances makes everything a little bit more fun because we get to talk to more than just us, right? We started an Instagram chat, so they're conversing with each other, which is awesome. We help each other out, post decks and all that stuff. So if you guys somebody's interested, we do have that coveted spot left. So
Yep, we got 1 spot open for y'all. And then also we got Instagram, YouTube, we're on
Twitch.
iTunes, Spotify, and do we have Reddit up now?
Reddit isn't running just yet. I before I get that, I'm gonna post a little bit more. That way you have quite a bit more on there.
Something for people to see.
Yes.
Yeah.
So wait for the Reddit. It's coming soon. So until next time, we bid you guys adieu, and we will see you guys in the next episode of Cubed, the Marvel Snap podcast. Have a good night.
Bye bye.